welcome back you guys. Tonight we're going to be working on the Glock Gen 4 Model 30. Now, pretty interesting build. We're going to be doing the Hive build on this slide, and you guys have seen the Hive build before on the 19s and the 17s, the 34s, the 43, the 23, but the idea behind the 30 is that it's going to be a little bit different. So I just kind of want to take a couple minutes here. I want to explain to you why it's going to be different and kind of what we're going for. I do want you to have a better feel of the content as it unfolds, so as you're watching it, you know what we're trying to achieve, and then of course in the end we will do a review. So on this particular model slide, it's shorter than the 19, but it's longer than what would be the 26 or 27 slide. So we're going to push this pattern closer to what would be our 26 and 27 slide. It's a greater weight reduction because the slide itself is fairly thick. So if you look at the walls, on a lot of these, they'll end up being pretty thick here, and then they taper in, they kind of get a little bit thinner here. With this being a 45 ACP, they have straight thick walls all the way down. It's right in that quarter-inch thickness range. So very thick walls. What we are after is weight reduction overall along with the pattern. So there's two things that we're trying to achieve as we do this work. So let's kind of jump into it. Let's talk about it a little bit here. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up chamfering all the sides. So we're going to chamfer the two long sides, the back three sides. We're not going to do the front because this has what a lot of companies call the bull nose or the edge nose. So we're going to leave those two front zones alone, but the big sides and the back rear sides, we're going to go ahead and chamfer those, slide in and out of holsters a little bit better, and overall it kind of just plays with the pattern a little bit better the way it lays. We're going to end up doing a Trigicon on the top rear. So we're going to leave this guy alone. We're going to do a Trigicon zone up in here. And overall, I think that's going to be a really nice setup. Obviously, it's going to be a really nice upgrade over where we are now because we're going to upgrade those two suppressor sites in order to work with the optic. And of course, the optic itself is very nice as an upgrade. Top front zone, we're going to be doing the Hive. We're going to be able to see some nice barrel through there. On the sides, we're going to do a shave. So what's going to happen is, from the rear serrations, we're going to shave this forward. We're going to remove all the text here. Of course, on this side, we've got a serial number and a Glock logo. That's all going to kind of contour around the ejection side and get shaved. So that's going to be a nice weight reduction and a cleanup. Then what we're going to end up doing is a step down. So over here on the front zone, which is going to take place on both sides, we almost do like a larger Hive step down. It goes straight, angled, back, and then it goes angled and then up. And what that does is we get that tighter pocket. So overall, we get more of a weight reduction. It's a slimmer side. Then we step down one more time, which you guys are familiar with seeing on the 19. So there is a Hive outline. And then of course, we'll actually have the Hive. So the design here would be 3 on the top, 4 on the sides, chamfered edge, step down, then another step down, and then 3 on the sides. So we want to make sure that we're not taking off too much weight because it is a 45 ACP. We do want to make sure that we're staying far enough away from where the barrel locks up to make sure that we're not going to have any structural problems. But in the end, we do want to achieve that weight reduction because the slide is pretty massive for what it is. Okay, so that's going to kind of wrap up the slide work, with the exception of the rear Hive will laser this, which we've seen on our packages before. That's going to kind of wrap that up. Let's talk about the barrel and how that's going to lay with the slide. So we're going to end up doing an interesting pattern on the top. We've got an XXX that we're going to do on the top, which would be Roman numerals for 30. On the side, we're going to end up doing some Hive pattern. On the round part, we're also going to do some Hive pattern. So I want to be able to see that out through the sides. Now, something to take into consideration when doing something like this, because I know there's a lot of people that follow us, I know there's a lot of guys that attempt to do this work, is when this goes in the gun, the idea is we'll take a note of where it protrudes out the end, we'll mark that, and then what will happen is we'll end up coming back probably something like a 5/16 or a 3/8, and then we'll run that Hive. So that Hive's going to be somewhere between here and here. The reason we do that is because we're not causing any issues with the lockup, we're not too close to where the lug area is, we're also not in the area of where it touches on the inside of the frame here, or the slide here. So we don't want to have any issues where it actually locks up. So when it's in the closed position ready to fire, we have a perfectly true surface all the way around it as the barrel was intended. This is a non-marked lone wolf barrel, so pretty interesting, high-grade stainless steel, of course. So then this barrel is going to go out for a gold coating. Okay, so that's kind of the story behind the barrel there. And let's take a look at the frame. We've got some framework here as well. So on the frame, we're going to end up doing shave sides, which we've already kind of gotten ahead of ourselves, an under groove here. So we've roughed this out. This will come back through and get all trimmed out. This is going to end up being Hive through here. This will be Hive on this side. So we're going to see a nice pattern that's going to match the barrel. It's going to match the slide. And then we're going to kind of get onto coloring. So once all this is kind of at that point, what's going to end up happening here is we're going to end up going with the burnt bronze on the slide, and on the frame we're going to go with a new color that we haven't seen. It's actually an elite color, and we're actually going to be doing blackout, which is like a pitch black. So interesting. It'll be burnt bronze with black, and then of course the gold barrel. Overall, pretty interesting build. So Guys, what we're going to do now is, because since we send these barrels out and have these coated and they're outsourced, we're going to start with the barrel work. We're going to jump over to the laser. We're going to get the barrel work done so that way we can process that while we're doing the rest of the work in-house. So I'm going to kind of take you guys through the steps as they're done on my end, because that's kind of the quickest way to do it. So this will be processing. We'll have the opportunity to then cut the slide. Obviously, we can go back and we can do the frame. So we can kind of do all that while this is being outsourced for that coating. So we're going to jump over to the laser. Let's see exactly what we turn out there on this barrel. Then what's going to happen is we're going to get over to the Tormach 770. We're going to turn out the precision CNC work on the slide. We'll probably jump back to the laser, do a little bit of the frame work, and do a little coloring, and we'll see what we come up with. All right, guys, let's take a look and see exactly how this came out in the end as our final build. So we've got a couple of different pieces to this puzzle. We've got the slide, we've got the barrel, we've got the frame. We're going to first start with a slide. We're going to get all the way down to the framework. We're going to assemble it. We're going to show you what it looks like as a completed project. Of course, we're going to be adding some pictures to the video. We do want to give you guys a better visualization of what it looks like under natural light. The downside is it is raining outside, so we're going to do our best to not get any little droplets of water on the slide or on the frame. But as you can see, really nice clean coating. I'm not 100% sure we're going to get that when we do our pictures, because we might see a little bit of rain on the slide, so hopefully not. Guys, let's kind of talk about the work here. So we ended up leaving the rear dovetail in its place. We ended up cutting the Trigicon optic type footprint in front of it, so we're able to run the Trigicon. Very nice upgrade set of iron sights, the Trigicons. Super nice upgrade over just running you know, all black iron sights or keeping any sort of factory iron sight that's in there. Really nice setup as far as the optic and the way the iron sights lay together there. Shave the side to remove the text and also to give us that weight reduction. Now, I know there's a lot of different companies out there doing a lot of different services, but we are after the premium service. So we want to make sure that we're not cutting through existing text. We want to make sure that we are getting the most clean pattern and package overall. So that's one of the reasons why we clean the slide up on the sides. We want to make sure that we're having a really nice area to work with, and overall just really an upgrade from the factory look. We ended up doing a step down, then a farther step down, and then the holes. Guys, the sidewalls on these slides are extremely thick. They end up being right around that 1/4 inch thickness all the way from, the barrel going all the way to the front. So really, really deep. So allowing us to do a step down and then an oval step down and then obviously punching those holes. Really, really nice overall pattern. I think we achieved the weight reduction. I think we're going to be able to see the barrel really nice. Overall, great idea. So top front zone, we end up doing the Hive obviously to match the sides. We're able to skip the area where the iron sight would go into, so we don't have an iron sight going into any of the holes. Really nice pattern on the top, able to see some nice barrel out through there. Let's check this side out. So we ended up doing a shave side all the way back to here. I know there's a lot of companies that stop in here. I'm not sure what that deal is. We try to cut all the way up into here. It kind of just ties the pattern in just a little bit nicer overall. We do want to give that extra border around where the extractor is and where the ejection side is. So really, really nice decorative work the way that it's laid. Of course, we do a ball nose here, and then we do a what is just a flat end mill on the bottom side, so we get more of a cupped effect on those edges. So really nice overall. So guys, what we're going to do now is let's talk about the barrel, then we're going to put them together. So we ended up going with the aftermarket barrel as we had seen at the beginning of the video. We did the XXX on the top, which is the representation, Roman numerals 430. So we get the G30, Hive recessed behind there, Hive on here. Now let's talk about this. I think we talked about it a little bit in the beginning part of the video, but guys, for me, it's been a couple of weeks because we do send the barrels out. The reason why we stop the pattern here and we don't go any farther forward is because this is the area right in here where it actually touches the round portion of the slide in through here. So we want to make sure that we're getting full contact all the way around there. We want to make sure that we're not skipping any of that or causing any kind of an issue with a burr that we might create or kind of a different a way in which it would lock up because there's a different pattern. So I want to make sure that that stays the way it is from the factory style. So basically it's smooth. We don't want to make a lot of changes on there. I know there's some companies that flew all the way out there to the ends. We try not to do that. So guys, that's pretty much what it looks like when it's all together. Pretty nice, nice, nice. And of course we will be doing some pictures as we had already discussed, so we're gonna be able to see that. Really nice. I like the ported part there. I like to be able to see the Hive. Okay, so let's put the spring in on this guy. I'm working behind the camera, so we'll do my best here to make sure we get everything put together. We're gonna set this guy down here, and now we're gonna talk about the frame. So the frame ended up having the Blackout Elite series. Now one of the things you're gonna notice on the Elite series on all the colors that I've ever sprayed is that they all have a little bit more of a shine to them. The earth does, the concrete does. They're all a little bit more on the, I wouldn't call it the mid, I would almost call it like the 3/4 to 100% gloss. It is the Elite, it is more durable. Overall, we do have a harder finish than what we're getting with just the standard just the standard H series. So we end up seeing a little bit more of a shine to there. So we got our single undercut, real nice undercut where it's high on our hand there. So really cool design there. I know that was one of the specific things that the customer was after. Guys, let's take a look and just kind of see how it goes as a whole. We also got a mag here. We're going to show you guys everything as it looks like as a complete project. So let's go ahead and get this guy in. Really nice. Let's go ahead and stick this guy, of course, for all you safety guys out there. And there we go. So what you're going to also notice is that there's a lot of small pieces here that have been upgraded. The your slide release, your slide stop, your mag release. Those have all been upgraded to other pieces. Okay, so and we would never recommend coating those. So we know we get a lot of guys go, well, do you do, can you do burnt bronze on that as well? We don't, any of those tight pieces, we really don't recommend coating because they just get all the more tight and they're also high wear. So your hands are always on these pieces all the time and you're taking a chance of it coming off unless you were to go with something like a titanium nitride. If we were going to do it, that would be our recommendation. Titanium nitride your pins, do something like an agency gold trigger because it matches the closest to the titanium nitride. So that's one of the reasons why we kept that all black, and quite honestly, I think it's really nice. We got some black here, we've got some black up here. Overall, really, really liking it. So I ended up picking up a G30 myself at one of the last shows, and now that I have a final product in hand, kind of thinking maybe I'm gonna do mine. So we may end up seeing some more of one of these builds or maybe a variation of this. I'm not 100% sure yet. It's so much lighter. I know you guys can't tell this obviously, but it's so much lighter than the factory because we've done so much weight removal. We kept such an area of lockup here that we don't have to worry about anything as far as cracking goes. We kept that rigidity that we're still getting like when we bought the gun. So overall, really, really nice. Guys, I just want to let you know, a lot of big builds coming out. We've had a lot of big builds actually come out. Some of them have already probably been released. And follow along. there is an absolute ton of content that we're going to be pushing out this year. We are going to try to get a little bit better at doing our videos this year than we were last year. One of the issues was we were in a growing phase. Okay, we were getting other machines, we were getting in the process of working on some other weapons that we haven't worked on. And now what we're finding is we're working on a lot of the same weapons, but we're doing more advanced builds on them. So that means that there's going to be a lot more content to show. So we do recommend that you subscribe, click your bell, you'll get a notification. So whenever an email comes out, like this video as an example, you'll get an email, you can click it right from there and go right to the video instead of coming back and checking or looking at your favorite forum or your favorite online board and looking to see if we've posted something. You can literally just get an email. So we do recommend that you subscribe. It's a much faster process overall. Of course, this stuff is usually posted a little bit earlier on our Instagram. It's always quicker just for us to post a picture. Sometimes the customer will obviously get pictures before you guys do, and they'll post a picture or they'll tag us in it. So it's kind of one of those deals that sometimes that's where you'll see that content first. All the content that is on our Instagram is always posted over onto our Facebook account. So if you don't want to do Instagram, you don't set up or whatever, that's fine. Follow us over there, like the page over there. It does encourage other people to follow along and to like as they see stuff. So we do encourage you that you do your part as we do ours. Click the like button, click the share button, that kind of thing, and just kind of let everybody else know what's going on. Definitely a good place to read those reviews over on our Instagram. Over on our Facebook account. And really what it does, it just encourages you to know the company that you're supporting. That's really what it comes down to is, how well did we do the work over all the people that we've done the work for, right? So we didn't just do one great project, we do all the great projects. So it's kind of one of those deals. If you have any questions about anything, you can always message us through Instagram, through Facebook. You can always text us. Our number is on the webpage. You can call. It's hard to get me by call. On a phone, by a call, it's hard to achieve to actually get a hold of me because I'm usually standing in front of a machine. I'm usually doing work. I'm disassembling, I'm reassembling, I'm coloring. I've got some kind of project going on. So it is usually pretty hard to get a hold of me by a phone call, but you are able to get a hold of me by text. So that's definitely one of the ways to do it. We do process orders by email, so we do recommend email as it's the wisest because we're almost always going to push you back to email because that's the place that we're going to process that order. We're going to talk about those details. We're going to make sure that whenever you've done process your order, if there's anything else that we've skipped, those are also going to be updated through the email. So that way everybody sees it on our end, so we make sure that all those invoices are updated. So my wife does the invoicing and the emailing and the receiving and the shipping, and that's where those things would be processed. If you text me a change, she's not going to see it. We may actually skip it. So it's kind of one of those deals that we try to keep everything in the same place. It's a little bit easier for the functionality of the flow of the work on our end. And as a small company, we are trying to get better at what does work the best for us and to be the most efficient for you. So guys, if you happen to need anything, feel free to reach out, let us know, and you can always just kind of stand by because we've got more really cool projects coming up.